Welcome to Wonderplay. And here is another very chatty flip through and review of a deck. Today we are looking at my DruidCraft Tarot deck, written by Philip and Stephanie Cargom and illustrated by Will Worthington. This is definitely not an unboxing. This deck is not new. I have had this deck for a very long time. It was the very first tarot deck that I got for myself. And it has been through it. It has been through all the things with me. It has taught me so much. So it shows so much wear and tear. But just know that the wear and tear it just shows how much I love it and how deeply I've connected with it. The guidebook it's a great size. It can go anywhere with you. And boy, has it gone everywhere with me. I really love the brown font color. It's soothing. It is very soothing. And this guidebook gives so many wonderful suggestions on ways to connect with the deck. It's definitely, they're coming from a Neo-Druidism Wiccan standpoint, which I am not a Wiccan. I do enjoy the Neo-Druidism stuff, and I enjoy some of the Wiccan stuff. And I will say that very big thing for me, given that I came from a very kind of dogmatic background growing up, I'm not here for that now. I am here for, in my spiritual path, if something speaks to me, if something gives me healing, if something inspires me, I'm going to run with it. I believe it's very important to know to research what we actually have. And, so if someone makes a claim like this is ancient, blah, 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 do look into that. No, if you're dedicating yourself to something, know as best you can its origins, where it comes from, the culture that it originates from. But also, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you're not being hurt, I say, go for it. If it makes your heart sing, don't stop your heart from singing. So that's my theory on that. Now, these cards were in order. I put them in order when I did the last filming of this. I'm gonna do this. They are not now, and I don't know why. But I've decided to assume that it's because the deck wants to be in the order that it's in. So we're not going to tamper with it. We're going to let the deck be. Oh, wait, no, I do know why. Because I showed myself shuffling it. Ha ha ha. We're still going to run with it. We're going to let it be in the order that it's in. It is gorgeous. As you can see, little baby Wonderplay watching tarot deck stuff on ye old YouTubes. Some people were like, you need to cut off the borders. You can cut off the borders, trim the borders. Now, they were using tools that made a uniformity. I did not. I used my very trusty safety scissors. The same safety scissors I use for all of their blue child safety scissors. I use them for all. Oh, wow, let's flip that. Let's flip it. There we go. Use them for all of my magical workings. I use them to cut my own hair, which is not always a great idea, but I have gotten better at it. Practice makes possibly a touch better. Not perfect in my point, but quite a bit better. And then I was like, oh, they're hard to shuffle. They're hard to shuffle because they are quite big. I love that they're big because they're not like the biggest around. Obviously, I have handled decks with larger surface area. but they're not small. I mean, and I don't have little tiny centipede hands. I got me some good sized hands, but you know, it's hard. It's hard. So then I thought that if I trimmed the corners, it'd be easier to shuffle. That's a lie. It's not. Oh man, also, this is probably one of my absolute favorite Eight of Cups art I've ever seen. Just absolutely stunning. The emotion in these cards is gorgeous. It translates so well. You feel the emotions. Also, personal thing. I have heard that there's definitely more of a move toward matte finishes on cards. This is glossy. Love it. Glossy's lovely, but glossy does make, you know, you get the glare a bit there, which isn't ideal. But this deck is an older deck. It was I'm not sure when it was first printed. I could look that up, but we're gonna just keep going. So yeah, it had borders. I cut off with my safety scissors because I'm a grown-up and I can do what I want. Although I used when I cut off the borders and then decided to make the little corners, I did end up using those bits to connect this deck with my deities, and also for some spell work, and that worked really well for me. So, you know, it's all about the journey. It's all about that journey, guys. You just oh yeah, here's a beautiful example of that emotion. Will Worthington's art. I'm looking at it, just making sure, because of that last situation where I was saying the wrong name for a whole video and didn't realize until after I'd uploaded it, and I had to re-upload it, and it was difficult. Poor me, poor me. Just beautiful and gorgeous, and I love it. Oh, why did I almost just sound like that one actress? Gorgeous. Ah. There's also like reinterpretations of meaning. Because like this Seven of Swords, it has some very different layers of meanings from, like, you know, say Rider-Waite Smith decks. But they're just absolutely stunning. Ah, there we go. There's our Fool. We love the Fool. We are the Fool. And there's a magician just getting it. Oh, also, as well, the story of Taliesin is woven throughout these cards, which fills my heart with great joy. And I was using this deck during my year-long Cauldron of Awen Caridwen ritual that I will make a video about at some point. And so having Caridwen, here she is in her hen. That was the form she was in when she ate Taliesin. He was a little grain of wheat and then became pregnant with him. Mythology is so fun, guys. I love it. It's woven throughout the card, so Caridwen's popping up everywhere. We absolutely love to see it. Look at that. That Empress is just, I'm in love with her. Can she be my wife? Okay. And you know, when you put antlers on something, I'm here for it. I love me some antlers. I love them. I love them. And also some horns. Taurus moment happening here. Same. Woo. Oh yes, this deck does have bodies. It has unclothed bodies. Not as many unclothed bodies as my beloved Celtic Tarot deck by Christopher Hughes and Chris Down. Chris. But there is some. So, woo, there we go. See, the Hanged Man, he's truly hanging loose. There is, not just he is hanging, his phallus is also hanging. And so, not trying to upset anyone, not trying to upset YouTube. So we're just gonna try to cover his dingling, or their dingling. I don't know how the hangman is identifying. I just know that he's got his bits hanging out, and their bits hanging out, and there we go. Love this. This is what I imagine myself being in my brain, in my head. This is who I am, right? That's what I see. Ah, yeah. Whoop. Nips. This is the devil card, so this is quite fun. They kind of reinterpreted the devil card and kind of give it a much more like holistic meaning, and kind of attribute it more to like, we need to take care of our planet. And I love that. I love to see where different deck creators go with these concepts. This tower, I would have this hanging on my wall. It is gorgeous. I know we don't like to see the tower in a reading. There's a part of me that does, though. I will explain. Whenever we come across the card that actually throws me for a loop and personally attacks me, I will explain why I'm cool with the tower. Whoa there, yeah, we always gotta have the star. The star always has the bits. We love her. Let's try to see. Oh, she's beautiful. And she's free. We love it. We love her beautiful freedom. Oh, there we go. We got the pups. The good pups with the moon. The sun, not quite a Teletubby sun baby. My Christopher Hughes's and Chris Downs Celtic Tarot deck, we've got a Teletubby sun baby situation, and it fills my soul with joy. This isn't quite Teletubby moment, but this also fills my heart with a very sweet happiness. But yeah, almost Teletubby sun baby, but we're not there. The baby's too old. You have to have the infant whose face is the sun. That's the Teletubby sun baby. And to be fair, yeah, the sun card, it always says to me, it's like, hey, it's time to be the Teletubby sun baby. Or, are you being too much of a sun baby? There's a lot there. That came up in the last pick a card reading I did. Ooh, we got that King of Wands. I kind of want his trousers. Those look so comfortable. Oh, Ace of Wands. Ellen of the Ways. I know there's a lot of discourse around our beautiful Ellen. I know the discourse. But as I said, if my heart feels right, I'm going to go with it, and I'm not hurting anybody. I have a deep connection to Ellen. Ellen has been so supportive and helpful and there from day dot on my journey, and has helped me with so many things. So I'm kind of like, oh, Ellen, I don't care if you're actually ancient or not. We have apotheosis. You are a goddess for me. You speak to me with your deer imagery. And so when I pull this card, I'm like, well, hello, Ellen. What do you need to tell me? Because we've got a beautiful deer here. Also would have that on my wall. I'm very maximalist. My theory of decoration within my space is, oh, I'm sure you can't tell. I'm sure you can't tell. Is cover every inch with something bright, but like it has to have a meaning. You can't just put something there. There has to be at least, I don't know, 7 different layers of meaning. If I stick, like here, this train on the TV stand. The train means things. It means so many things. I might have put a spell of something like this train might bring peace and joy and love into my space. Why not? Animism, baby. My objects need to be bringing love and joy and peace and inspiration into my space. Thank you, train. So, you know, kind of cover every inch. Everything is a shrine to something. I feel bad because when friends come over, here's Chatty doing as a hen, I just am like, hello, welcome to my home. Let me run you through all of the meanings of the things within my home. Look at my home. This is the vessel for the house spirit. His name is Cuthbert. He has a story. We'll tell the story later. Yeah, and I don't know why people like to hang out with me, but there's a little tiny bit of people that do. And I appreciate the fact that they allow me to go on and on about all the different magical layers that I am incorporating into my space. And as my partner was like, oh yes, you're starting this channel, you're sharing this with people, pretty sure, oh yeah, let's set you there because I want to talk about you. You needed someone to talk to about this. You needed to express what's happening with you magically. So yeah, here I am, flipping through cards and using it as an excuse to, as my grandpa would say, jack my jaws, just run on and on and on. So this is the card. Nine of Swords. It personally attacks me. It's always coming for me because it's the biggest source of shadow work. It's not fun to do, but we gotta do it. Shadow work. Because I have lived, when I was younger, when something was too overwhelming, things were bad, I was not having a good time, it was tower moment, baby. I would trigger tower moments. I would be like, not literally, blow it up, run away, get out, run, hide, whee, explode it. It never happened. But then the result from that behavior meant that I became this. Not fun. That's why we're dealing with that. So, yeah. And then, of course, also there were times in my life where the tower occurred. And it occurred, I didn't necessarily make it happen, but it needed to happen. Here I am. It was a massive tower moment that occurred 24 hours before I met my partner. And meeting my partner changed the entire course of my life in a very positive way. It opened the door for all of the things that I needed to do. Like, it really charted my course. That pivotal moment and that 1 in a million chance of me connecting with my partner, meeting them, was so pivotal. But I tell you what, 24 hours before that happened was probably one of my lowest lows. It was awful. Everything was destroyed. The tower was destroyed. And the next thing I know, there's this little British, he wasn't a little boy. He was 23, who sends me a message and is pretending to be Joey from Friends. How you doing? And the rest is history. 8 years later, here I am. We are married. I live in a different country now, and my entire life changed. So tower moments really, there are tower moments that need to happen. There are deaths, not literal deaths, obviously. Sometimes things need to die so we can move forward. I would not be here if it weren't for tower moments. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So that is me rambling about this beautiful deck that I have. Has been through it. It has gone through a lot for me. I did things to it, just like I've done to my hair with my safety scissors. And I can shuffle it. It's just really awkward, but that's okay because it's full of me, my energy, and my deity's energies. And I cherish it. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to go prepare for the next thing I'm going to film because I like to do my little walkthroughs, the decks, before I do the pick a card reading because I want to do a reading. Sorry, Tulip. I want to do a reading for the spring equinox. Astara. But I like to kind of run through the decks and shout out the actual decks before I do that. So we're gonna, ooh, I'm sorry, Tulip. Right, so before I abuse these poor tulips anymore, thank you for joining me. We'll see y'all later. Bye.